Hello. Welcome to Wolf Mooncraft's Book Corner. Today we are featuring Kindred Schemes by R.K. Harrington. It is book 1 in the Schemes series and is categorized as a historical Regency romance.
First, let's read the back of the book cover information.
1 bookish debutante, 2 dashing suitors, and a season full of scandal. Lady Elena Sinclair never expected London society to be so treacherous or so tempting. She has always preferred books to ballrooms, but with a disastrous start to her first season, she's determined to rewrite her fate. With her heart set on the respectable and very eligible Duke of Ashford, Elena is ready to embrace society's expectations, even if it means silencing her true desires. Elena's world is set awry by Christopher Kendall, the Marquess of Rochester, sharp-tongued, maddeningly handsome, and inconveniently the Duke's closest friend. Their first encounter is a disaster, their next, a temptation, and every moment together after that, increasingly impossible to ignore. But with a web of secrets, jealous relatives, and mysterious threats unraveling around her, it soon becomes clear this is no ordinary season. Kindred Schemes is a modern take on a Regency romance with glamour, a steamy love triangle, and enough mystery to keep readers turning the page.
Now onto a sample of the story.
London, 1809. Oh no, here he comes, the lascivious Lord Finch and his merry band of drunken fools. Elena looked out at the crowded ballroom, her eyes connecting with the group of men making their way toward its center. Elena had only been at the ball for a quarter hour before this particular disaster struck, the leers of the men making the hairs at the nape of her neck prickle. It did not escape Elena's attention that Lady Barbara, Lord Finch's sister, accompanied the group and wore a sly smile. Hopefully, this latest encounter would be short. Surely, Lord Finch would not want to be rejected twice, let alone in front of a large crowd.
Elena looked to her right to find her parents close at hand, thankfully, and she stood a little straighter knowing she would not face this alone. The group of men seemed to move in unison before coming to a halt a few paces before Elena and her family. A group of onlookers formed a circle around them, as if ready to enjoy the ensuing spectacle, Lady Barbara taking her place in the throng. Elena struggled to focus on the faces of the onlookers as she held her head high, ready to meet Lord Finch and his friends with as much dignity as she could muster. She hoped to project a more serene exterior than she currently felt, her heartbeat accelerating to such a degree that she could feel the blood rushing in her ears. Lord Finch stepped to the fore of the now halted group and gallantly bowed to Elena before speaking, his voice so loud that Elena was sure people arriving in carriages outside could hear. "My dearest, beautiful Elena," he started, clearing his throat before continuing, "you have set upon me quite a conundrum. I fear I have fallen madly in love with the idea of having you as my wife, and I feel you should be happy with such an arrangement. I am quite the catch, you know, especially for someone from the country, and one who likes to read." From behind him, Lady Barbara piped up with an added insult. Amazing, really, that Elena found her way out of the library to be here. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Elena cringed at his easy use of her given name, devoid of any honorific, and seethed at the mockery of her character. Lord Finch and his sister sounded ridiculous, pompous, and conceited. Elena was frozen in place, her lips trembling in rage, and when no comment ushered forth from her lips, Lord Finch rejoined, unfazed by the one-sided nature of their conversation. "I find myself at an impasse. Shall I continue to press my suit with decorum, or should I make my feelings known to the whole world so that you may not so easily dismiss them as you have in the past?" A warmth crept up Elena's neck and touched her cheeks, giving her pale skin a glow, although one not easily perceptible in the dim light of the ballroom. She turned once again to where her parents stood, only to find that her father had disappeared, and her mother's pale face was drawn in embarrassment as she watched her eldest child with dismay. Oh, how Elena wished her father would have stayed. His tall frame was intimidating to a crowd, and his familiar umber eyes were always reassuring to her. Resolved to put a stop to this farce, Elena turned back to Lord Finch and remarked, her voice distant and strange sounding in her ears. "Lord Finch,
It seems my earlier rejection of your suit did not deter you in the least, but I ask you to have a care for your surroundings."
As the words left her mouth, Elena watched Lord Finch's face change, his outwardly serene expression making way for something more sinister. His smile twisted into an outright leer, and his pale green eyes seemed to burn of their own accord, the candlelight no longer just a reflection in them. He lowered to one knee and reached out his hands in supplication as he sneered, "Please, will you marry me, my lady?" The emphasis on the last word ensured that Elena felt the insult. Lord Finch was quickly joined by his friends, their idiocy known no bounds, all of them dropping to their knees in a chorus of marriage proposals, each more mocking and infuriating than the last. Soon laughter rang loudly in Elena's ears as the men and then the onlookers seemed to find amusement in her predicament. Her world blurred through a sheen of tears, the faces of the laughing men, now resembling something like demons, the only clear points in her vision. Elena glanced about to find her mother and threw herself into her open arms, shielding her from the worst of the crowd. The two women made their way to the outer edge of the ballroom and quickly to the front entrance, only stopping a moment to gather their cloaks before heading out into the cool night. Her father, having had the forethought to make his way to the exit, met them in the front drive, where he had already called for their carriage to be brought around, and not a moment too soon. The Sinclair family hastened into the carriage, a pall falling on them as the conveyance made its way onto the main thoroughfare and toward their London townhome. Elena squeezed her eyes shut, focusing on the click-clop of the well-matched team of four, grateful for the silence of her parents, as she let tears make their way unchecked down her cheeks.
There ends the sample, and here's some info about the author.
R.K. Harrington is a debut historical romance author, combining swoon-worthy romance with a bit of mystery. Her first novel, Kindred Schemes, is scheduled to be released February 2026. In 2021, R.K. Harrington found that her daydreams were yearning to spill over to the written page, and ever since has been writing historical romance with a dash of mystery in hopes of publishing her work one day. After much editing and long hours designing, she is gearing up to release her first novel, with many more to come. R.K. Harrington grew up reading romance novels at a maybe too young age, and the stories entranced her. Give her a happily ever after, HEA, and there is no better book in the world. While romance books, namely historical romances, are her first love, R.K. Harrington is an avid reader of all genres. She has gone through many phases: medical mysteries, crime dramas, science fiction, romantasy, and is currently in a fantasy phase. She does do the occasional nonfiction book as well, namely history. Through every season of reading, romance books of all kinds are sprinkled liberally. When R.K. Harrington is not writing or reading or working her day job as an engineer, she is having fun with her husband, their kids, and her very cute dog, a Pembroke Welsh Corgi named Maximus. They all live in the DMV area, where the summers are hot, the winters are cold, and the 2 days of spring and fall are beautiful enough to open the windows.
And that's it for here, for information about the book and author. If you want to know more, check the description box below for information and links. Want more features? Subscribe to this channel, making sure to select all in the pull-down list so you're notified on every video posted. Don't forget to like and share this video as well. Leave a comment too, letting us know what you thought of this feature, and if you're going to read the book or not. I seriously appreciate your viewership. Thank you so much for watching.